Right, a really nice horse chestnut boar that I'm going to core before I turn it. Right, as I said, it's a lovely piece of chestnut boar. It's really bored here on this side of it. And I'm going to core it first because it's boar. I'm not wasting it. They're very hard to get. So the first thing I want to do is round it off and put a tenon on it and get it into a chuck so I can core it before I do anything else. Now this boar I was given by Richard when we all met up for the woodturning and woodcraft show up at the carpentry store, and he was kind enough to give me this and another piece. So thank you very much, Richard. I promised I'd do a video when I was using it, so here we go, mate. Right, first thing I'll do is round it off, put a tenon on it, and we'll get on with this. Right then, it's rounded up and the tenon is in it. So I'll rig up the corer and we're going with this. So I'll be back in a sec. Right then, we're set up ready to core this. I normally wouldn't core something this small, but because it's boar, I can get a couple of nice pen blanks out of over here, so I'm not going getting a piece of boar is so rare. I'm not going to waste it, right? So I'm just going to core this out. Anybody who wants to know more about the coring system that I use, the woodcut ball saver, I did a full video on it, and I'll leave a link up there and a link below, of course. Right, so we'll just core this out quickly now. That's popped out nicely. Yes, and there's a couple of good boar pen blanks in that piece. So now we can just get on with this as a normal bowl. So I'll set up for this and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, first thing I'm going to do is shape the outside of the bowl. Right, so it's I have a certain shape in mind, so I can show this boar off. I want like an integrated foot here on the bottom. Shape-wise, yeah, shape-wise that's nice. That bore, what I wanted to look for was I want a curve in the bore, which looks really nice. Right then. And I'm not happy with that cut up the high part, so I'll just start that out with a side bevel cut. With the tool marks, and then we'll sand this. Yeah, much better cut. Right, I'll sand that part and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, just doing the Yorkshire Grit. And this Yorkshire Grit bit is quite short because the legend itself is quite short. Right, and it's how the world got different types of music. Like if you've been following this thing I've been doing on the tour day down, you know, the tour day down and brought music and art and stuff into Ireland. And this is the story of how how one of them brought different genres, shall we call it, of music into the country. Right, and it's called Boan and the Birth of Music. Right? Now the Dagda, the leader of the tour day down, once had a harpist whose name was Uthna. In one of the stories, I said there's a few different versions of this, but in one of the stories, he was actually the husband of Boan. Now, he used to play music for her, and basically depending on what mood she was in, what type of music he'd play. Right? Now, he is credited with inventing 3 types of music for her moods. There was sleep, joy, and weeping or sadness, right? Now, Boan and Uthna had 3 children together. With the birth of each child, Boan introduced a new type of music. So basically, the birth of a type of music coincided with the birth of one of his children. Right? When they had their first son, Uthna played the healing music while Boan was crying out. Right, that was supposedly the first introduction of lamentation type music, or dirges. Right, the music of joy came to life with the birth of the second child. For Boan was crying with joy. She was in pain, but she was happy with the arrival of the second baby. So, Boan played a lighter type of music. Uthna played a lighter type of music. Alright. Now, she was in pain for the third baby, right? But he started playing another type of music, which took her pain away. And it made her happy. Right? And she got so happy and relaxed, she actually fell asleep. So the third type of music was sleeping music, or lullabies. Right? And that's how the different types of music in the world were brought about by the Tuatha Dé Danann, or by one member of the Tuatha Dé Danann. And why we have the different types. As I said, it's a very short one. There's very few references to this story that I can find. Right. It was one that the Shanachie who tells me these stories, he mentioned it, but he didn't actually know the story, and he told me where to go look. So I went looking and I found this part. He said it was an interesting story. So that's how the 3 different types of music were brought into the world. So I'll get on with this and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, just buffing the wax off. And it's finished, turned out very nice actually. I've heard people say that you can only use oil finishes on Burrs. That's incorrect. You can use any finish you want, and they come up really nice. Look at that, isn't that stunning? Absolutely beautiful piece of wood, Richard. Thank you very much. Absolute beautiful piece of wood. Right, now we get to hollowing this, which won't take all that long. Now, I'm going to do something with this piece that I did before, and I quite like the effect. I did it when I did the Art Deco bowl. If you haven't seen that one, I'll leave a link up there. I'm going to make the inside a different shape to the outside. I'm just going to put a curve on the inside because the contrast actually adds something. Right. So we get up the turning speed, flatten it off first. Check that for flat. Yeah, this wood is cutting absolutely beautifully. Right, I'm going to put a fresh edge on this before I start hollowing, and I'll be back to you in a sec. Right, then we get to hollowing this. I'm going to get it down to my width first. Now, the only thing you got to watch here, if you're doing this where you're not following the outside, is that a place that comes in like that, that you don't go too close on the inside. It's not as easy to do this as it is just to follow the outside. Especially when you're looking for just a smooth curve on the inside. Yeah, the curve is looking nice. Yeah, I'm down into the base there, and I'm quite close there. Although I can probably take another cut from that. not 100% happy with that cut. So my hands are acting up a bit today. Yeah, no, I'm not happy with that cut at all. As I said, my hands are acting up a bit today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that with the negative rake scraper because I am not happy with that cut. So I'll just put an edge on this and I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, cutting height is right. Yeah, that's better. Just like that there in the middle. I'll get rid of. Got it. Right. Okay, now I'll sand that. I'll finish the inside and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, just buffing the wax off. It turned out very nice. Now, I don't know if I explained this earlier, but the idea of the shape on the outside is to show off the most of the burr that I can from the outside of the bowl, from somebody looking at it. If I'd have tucked that, if I'd have continued that curve down under there, then you wouldn't see the bottom half, 3/4 of an inch of the burr at all from outside, because it'd be tucked under the bowl. That's why I kicked out the back like that, and it turned out exactly the way I had it in my head. Right. So there's the inside, looking absolutely gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous, that part. Right, so I'll take it off, flip it over, do the base and give you a better look at it. And the one thing I gotta watch during the base is the inside of that curve basically follows this. So the bottom of the bowl there is actually inside this foot. So I have to be careful not to go too deep. So I'll do that. And I'll be back in a second and give you a look at the finished bowl. So I'll see you in a minute. Alright then, there we have it. A very nice little 10-inch chestnut burr bowl. You can see what I mean there about that extra kick. I can see a lot more of that burr than I could if I'd have tucked it under. And the inside of it is absolutely gorgeous. Right. Don't have it stuck in your head that the inside of a bowl has to exactly match the outside. Sometimes a contrast like this, where the inside is just a curve and the outside is different, looks really well. Right, so if you enjoyed that one, or if you got that now, if you wouldn't mind clicking like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.